Had a pretty negative first E3 experience. Don't want to bring the mood down here, but first E3 experience for me, I was really excited. Student at the Art Institute of Orange County, and we got a couple of free passes to E3, which was awesome. I don't know how that actually got hooked up now that I know that E3 was like developer only type thing, or it might have been. Maybe I was early in my career, but either way, I was still in my early 20s when I went to my first E3. And I lined up early. I was like right behind the double doors before they opened. And I remember just boom, doors open like maybe 10 minutes late. Everyone's just rushing in to just like go absorb content. I saw people like beelining for Nintendo lines or for whatever company they wanted to go see like demos of. Then I just remember I was like, well, I'm going to take my time. I'm going to let people go and do whatever. I'm just going to enjoy this. Is my first time here. I'm not trying to run. Plus, I didn't know the layout, so I wouldn't know where I was running anyway. So I went to the first booth was Prima, like the strategy guide company. They used to make these or I don't know if they even still do. I haven't bought a strategy guide in years. But they used to make these Bible-sized strategy guides for like some of your favorite games across all platforms. So I went there. I put my little swag bag down that this was the first day of E3. Nobody had really any chance to grab stuff except for the stuff that was in the hallway beforehand. So I go to the first booth, Prima, put my bag down, and I grabbed like a Dragon Quest 4, Dragon Quest 5 strategy guide, something like that. And I was flipping through. And then this female security guard comes up to me and she's like, "Do you want to put that back?" And so I'm shocked. Like, why would you put all this product on display if you don't want me to see it? So I was assuming there must have been something else she was talking about. So I was like, "Put what back?" And she was like, "The one that you put in your bag." And so appalled that somebody had just accused me of stealing, like within 40 seconds of me being at E3. So I took out my bag, I dumped it over onto their table, and all that came out was like tchotchke, like lanyard, pencil, maybe even like one of those free magazine, like a free Edge magazine or something like that, like they had outside. I didn't even put anything in my bag, obviously. I didn't even touch my bag except to put it down, and then I picked up a strategy guide to look through it. And so the guy who was working for Prima, he didn't step in. Like he saw this going down, and he kind of was like staying to the side. Then when he saw me empty my bag, he like did one of those, holds his face and starts walking over to her. And then I didn't hear what he said to her, but I heard her say to him, "I know he's the type that steals." And so that was just a double,
she doubled
you're already
down.
wrong, but now you're gonna dig even deeper. So
yeah.
That's the half of it. So somehow later that day I was outside, a little beside myself. And there was two gentlemen having a conversation, and I was just sitting there trying to figure out, am I going to go home? That's how I really felt about that kind of treatment. And I remember I could tell that the bald-headed guy was high up at E3, if not the person who's the main decision maker. He was I could hear what they were talking about. I heard them throwing around C-title stuff and how the conversation was being handled. So I kindly interrupted. By saying I waited for there to be a break. I think they were eating, and so I saw him wiping his face. I was like, "Hey, excuse me, don't mean to interrupt." And then I just explained the story to him, and so he doesn't look at me, right? He looks into the distance, and then he looks at me and says, "So what do you want me to do? You want me to shoot her?" And so that was why I didn't go to E3 for probably 6 years straight, because that was how the game industry welcomed me into E3 as a young kid who'd been playing video games his whole life, super excited to be there. Not only did I have something bad happen to me, and then that person doubled down, but then when I found somebody who possibly could have even just been like, "Oh, that really sucks. I'm sorry, man. Look, I don't know how the third-party security stuff works, but please don't think that every part of E3 is going to be like that. Why don't you go in and, go check out some of the games. I promise you it'll get your mind off of it," right? That sentence could have saved so much more than to look at me and then do the same thing the security guard did and just be like, "Oh, so what do you want me to do? You want me to shoot her?" Who says that to somebody?
Right.
Who says that to anybody? You know what I mean? Why would they assume that was the recourse that I was looking for?